Now, today, Accel announced it's investing $7.9 million in online shopping site Joyus. Here today in our studio is Theresia Ranzetta, who's been with Accel since 1999. She sits on the board of several consumer internet companies. She's got an MBA from Stanford and was named in 2008 to Fortune's 50 most powerful women in business. Welcome to Bloomberg. Why, it's so great to have you here.
Thanks, Emily. It's great to be here.
So first of all, what is Joyus, and why did you decide to invest in it?
Joyus is a next-generation video commerce shopping experience. So if you think about it, simply put, it's the ability to have short-form videos about a product that you can share virally on the internet and buy the product at the end or anytime during the video. And why invest in it? I think a couple of trends. One is, Accel's been a huge investor in this next wave of what we call social commerce, everything from Groupon to Etsy and ModCloth and now Joyus. And secondly, it was a chance to back Sukhinder Singh Cassidy again. We backed her, speaking of 99, we were investors in her first company, Yodlee, where she was a co-founder. And I've obviously stayed in touch with her professionally throughout her time there at Google and now at Joyus, so thrilled to be working with her again.
Now, Sukhinder's also got a great resume. She was former executive at Google. We spoke to her earlier about the role of video in particular in online retail. I want to take a listen to that clip.
Retailers are still just learning how to use video as a medium to help persuade and to sell. And I think when I look forward, I think the thing I'm most excited about is video is just such a conducive medium to tell you the story that product still images can't.
Now, one of the things about video is it's still a little clunky. How do you see it really being seamlessly integrated into the shopping experience?
So, our view at Joyus is that you need to do that from the ground up with the video platform, that it's a video created primarily to merchandise and sell. Just like in the real world, the power of, demonstration and performance sells a lot of products, especially beauty, apparel, a lot of soft goods, which is where we're starting. So you need to see it to believe it. It's generally 3-minute to 4-minute video, and it's not clunky at all. You watch, and as someone gives a demonstration about Pretty Potion, which is this great body lotion from out of LA, you can click anywhere along and you can purchase immediately, seamlessly in the middle of it.
Now, you've been with Accel since 1999. You've seen so many different kinds of investments. What are you looking for these days? What kind of companies are catching your eye?
So I think what we always look for in a general sense, whether it was 99, 2005, or now, is, we're looking for entrepreneurs with huge vision and strong domain expertise in terms of the area that they're going after, and going after a large market that's growing in a discontinuous way because of either technology, in this case sort of video being widely enabled, and also distribution with sort of social distribution and sharing. So not surprisingly, some of the areas we've invested a lot in recently, obviously we were early on in social media with Facebook and some others. We continue to invest in things that have a strong social sharing component, like Joyus and ModCloth on the community space, and also very heavily involved in mobile, from AdMob in the early days to Rovio more recently. And we also continue to invest in next generation cloud infrastructure, things that are sort of technologies that our big internet companies are using, things like Cloudera.
So talking a bit about Facebook, you were early investors in Facebook. Do you think that Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, that those are the social platforms of the future, or that there could be others that innovate, past that?
I think that, our whole business in Silicon Valley is all based on sort of future innovation. But I think certainly they're the platforms for today and for the foreseeable future. You just look at the numbers of, users, 700 million in the case of Facebook. I'm not as up to speed on the latest on Twitter and others. And the number of third-party applications that are developing on top of it and publishing into it. I think that's just a tremendous opportunity for any company right now. Today, generally most of the stats say 1 in 4 page views on the internet is on Facebook. So if you want to reach your consumer, you need to find a way to be on top of that platform.
Now, you're also running Accel's New York office, right?
Co-heading it with a couple of other folks.
Co-heading Accel's New York office. Tell me about how quickly the tech community is growing in New York City, and how much potential you see there for like a second Silicon Valley.
I would say it's been amazing, the growth in the last In particular, it's accelerated over the last 12 to 24 months. We have, I think, approaching 20 investee companies, Accel does, in the greater New York area. Some of them have had recent exits, like Diapers.com, which is now part of Amazon. And I mentioned, Etsy and Birchbox and Glam are some others. I really do see it already in terms of consumer internet investments as the #2 most active geography in the United States after Silicon Valley.
Really?
Certainly we have more in Silicon Valley, but there's no doubt, if you look at the portfolio, look at the activity on the consumer internet and mobile side, New York is where it's happening. It's very different than in '99, where there was an attempt to have Silicon Alley and it never really happened. I think now you have enough of a critical mass that you have a good group of entrepreneurs. And if you're a great entrepreneur on the East Coast and you want to stay on the East Coast, I think these days you start that company in New York, not in Boston anymore. And the venture capital investment numbers bear that out.
Interesting. Great to have your perspective, bi-coastal perspective. All right, Theresia Gouw Ranzetta, thanks so much for joining us here.
Thank you, Emily.
On Bloomberg West.